everybody, and welcome to this playthrough for Master Division in the Redwood Cup Tournament and the Sequoia Creek for Golf Clash the game. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content for free. You can also get the best guides on the market and our summer special for all the guides. Yes, check it out! Patreon.com/golfclashtommy, link in the description down below. Follow the info box on the right hand side for my elevation adjustment for the shots that I'm taking, combined with what type of ball and club type that I'm using. Have in mind, you don't need to use what I'm using, but I always have a plan with the setups. If you are not uncomfortable, but if you do have any questions whatsoever, you can always email support@golfclashtommy.com or make a comment in the comment section below. In the end though, let's freaking go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, we are going to play on the left hand side here using 6 bars of topspin and 1 bar side spin to the left. We're using a Win 5 Power 2 and also in this case a side spin 2 ball, but the side spin 2 is not really necessary, so we could go and play with whatever type of Win 5 Power 2 side spin 1 plus ball. Top of the red ring by the rough line, medium distance with a 20% over adjustment. Make sure that you don't have any type of overpower on your shot, because if you do have that, even though it's not deliberately, then you might clip the rough there at the top. We do need to play close to the rough line there to just get the distance that we are looking for. When it comes to yardage, we are looking for a yardage around 360 to 365. 359 yards equals 74% on the slider, 10% over adjustment. And now for the second shot, we do play with the thorn. And I'm not going to use the rough bump here, as I do feel more comfortable with this type of wind to go with a more backspin approach. Now we're going to play with 2.5 bar backspin and half a bar of left spin. Ball guideline to the hole with half of the blue ring inside the rough. Then, as I said before, 74% slider from 359, and we're using the elevation of 10%. And as you can notice here, that I do pull over the bullseye completely, and that is what I'm going to try to do generally on this hole. Now we're going to try to hit the ball perfect, which we do, and the ball bounce, and comes in right at pin for a nice eagle on hole number 1. Whether we like it or not, this is a must eagle here in Master. So for hole number 2, we play with an Aurora type of ball. 5 bars of backspin, 2 bars of side spin to the right. Season 19 ball has the same type of stats, and we are looking to have the side spin too, which is important. Ball guideline to the hole with the blue ring, just a slight little gap there from the rough. Adjustment is going to be medium distance with a 25% over adjustment, power 2 ball settings, and we're playing with the rock. I would recommend you to, even if you play with the rock level 8, you should be playing with the same numbers as the rock level 9. Then obviously in the end we do need to try to hit perfect, and with a perfect ball we're gonna have a good chance. The problem we do have with this shot is if we do have an 1159 pull angle, which makes our bounce go like the second bounce to be very short on green, then we risk go short to pin. So it's very important that you look to have a pull angle that is 1201 for this shot to help your ball to get a bit further up with its first bounce and therefore a bit further in front with the second bounce as well. Hole 2, in my opinion, is the toughest of the three par 3s in my opinion. For hole number 3, we're going to play with the driver that gives us the most topspin. Those of you playing with an Apocalypse of 5 and 6, I would highly recommend you to play with a Power 5 Win 3 ball if possible, which is a stealth ball, you know, a relic ball or something like that. Now, when we do have the POC 7 or a POC 8, I would go Power 4, Win 3 ball to save our, more valuable special ball. 7.5 bar top spin, 2 bars of side spin to the right, looking for the top of the red ring to be by the rough line with the ball guideline straight down the middle. Now adjustment, medium distance with a 20% over adjustment, and once it's time to take our shot, we're just going to try to hit perfect. When you do make your pull for all the rings, try to favor 1159, as the 1159 will pull us a little bit further back, and therefore we will take away, you know, the bigger risk of rolling too far here. Obviously, you know, we still have some room there, and I do not feel that even if we don't have an 1159 that we will go into the rough, but it's better to be safe than sorry, as the second shot is going to be almost as equally tough anyway. Second shot, I'm going with 5.5 bar topspin. I'm looking for the second bounce to be pretty much dead on in the middle of the rough there on top. We're a little bit short as seen as the start, but now it looked like we came in correct. Once we have done that, we release, and then we adjust maximum distance. Now with a 10% over adjustment. We have been, or I've been playing this one without elevation before, but as we pull into overpower, we are going to want the ball to obviously fly a little bit more, which means that the ball is going to be affected a little bit more by the wind as well. You know, logic, but in the end though, it's very easy to forget. Ball to just get down there on the green or on the fringe on any form. I take this one as just a simple eagle, or like not simple, but I do see this as an eagle hole. I don't expect any albatrosses whatsoever on this hole. But if you do misjudge the overpower, which is very easy to do, I've done it myself, and you bounce over to the rough on the back or roll into the rough on the back, try to go for a dunk. There you will have a great ball possibility to drop as well. But in the end though, very tough par 5 here for hole number 3. For hole number 4, we're gonna play with a power 1, side spin 3, wind 5 ball, 1.8 bars backspin and 3 bars of side spin to the left. We are in complete minimum distance, which will obviously help a ton. So we're gonna leave ourselves in minimum distance and then be very focused on our position with the ball guideline. As you will notice that we are a little bit right, like left of pin, which is a very important thing. There is a very massive funnel there, and it is though, however, very important that the ball guideline is going to point 1 green square left of pin. Super important. Now we do play maximum distance with no elevation, power 2 ball settings. So no, like it's not power 1. So power 2 ball settings, but with playing with a power 1 ball. Makes sense, I hope. Then we're gonna play with a pull angle that is going to be 1159. So we do get the first bounce a little bit further in, further up. In the end though, we get it in for a nice hole-in one here on hole number 4. And with that massive funnel there, I do believe this is definitely the best chance for us making a hole-in-one here in Master. For hole number 5, we're going to go for green. Here we start by going with 5 bars of topspin, 2 bars of side spin to the right. Every time you do have wind above 15.2, you go with 5 bars of topspin. If wind is below that, you go with 5.5, and then up to 6 bars of topspin if you're down to like a 13.6 miles per hour. I would highly recommend you to play with a wind that is going to be around 15 to 16, just so we can reduce and play with less topspin, and then, you know, reduce the risk of getting that glitch. Yellow ring completely inside the rough with whatever type of club that you're playing with. Have in mind that a POC 5 and a POC 6 might overlap a little bit due to different type of different accuracy. Adjustment, maximum distance with no elevation whatsoever, and then we, you know, push up to max, and then it's time to go with curl with the ball just outside the adjustment ring to the right. Max overpower and try to hit perfect. You rather want to have a minor great right than great left, you know, but a great left will still be fine. In a worst case scenario, you might clip the rough and still roll out, and you will still have a wedge towards the pin. Sure, that is going to be kind of tricky, that type of wedge, but in the end though, that's something that we do need to manage to do well. So in the end though, we go for green. This is a must eagle, you know, nothing really, not much more to say, and it should be a fairly easy one as well to get. For hole number 6, we're going to go for green. It feels so extremely silly to say that when it comes to a par 5, But in the end, that's going to be the best option. And I'm going to explain why when we're taking the drive. Max top spin, 2 bars of side spin to the right. And that type of spin setup applies with all type of clubs. Stretch out the club to max, and with Apocalypse level 7 and level 8, we're gonna have half of the white ring inside the rough there with a maxed out straight position. If we do play with Apocalypse level 5 or 6, I would recommend to go half of the 4th ring, the one that is a transparent ring, to be there by the rough line. And you can see that we got ourselves very close to the green by doing a power slice. One thing that I would like you to have in mind with the drive as well is that we are looking for a wind that is going to be approximately 15.5 to 16 miles per hour. Why? It's because if we do have more wind, like 17.5, and we go with max overpower, then we will most likely carry the ball all the way into the rough, and that's going to struggle it for us. Now when I do have a 17.5 miles per hour, I do, as you can see in the end there, I take off a little bit from max overpower, just a smidgen. And the reason, you know, you see me playing with 17.5, it's because when I juggle between the Berserker ball, which is wind 1, power 5, then I got myself below 15 miles per hour wind, and here, you know, I got 17.5, and that's kind of like the worst type of wind to get. So therefore I made a decision to go with a higher wind to just reduce a smidgen of overpower. But in the end, we're looking for a wind between 15.5 and 16 miles per hour if we can choose. Second shot, if we do get down there, it's going to be a simple wedge. Make sure you add all the top spin possible. I would recommend that if you do have a rapier level 8 plus and you only have an endbringer level 6 or below, then I would honestly go with the rapier instead due to its enormous top spin. That will help you tremendously when you do adjust for this shot. The thing that you will notice is that you will be all over the place with this drive. You will sometimes be by, you know, on the green, sometimes by the green, sometimes in the rough, and sometimes in the sand. I cannot really give you an adjustment for a power slice that will get you to this spot all the time. But the thing that makes this one be a go every time though, is due to the only other play really is to go, you know, straight forward, or to go like a semi-power power slice and then just lay up, and you're gonna have a very tough shot for the pin anyway. So it's better to gamble and get yourself very close to green if you do well, and see this one as in a best case scenario that you drop 2 or 3 out of the 4 shots, like a 50 to 75% drop rate. In the end though, I don't have any elevation here listed. It's because I'm not playing any elevation for the drive whatsoever, and the second shot is you know, adaptive. We need to adapt based on position, so only mirror the landing position, and then you're going to see yourself, you know, doing really well here on hole number 6. For hole number 7, we do find ourselves again with a very good opportunity. I'm using as much top spin possible and 1 bar of right spin. And now, as it is a replay, it's very hard to see plus yardage and such, but I do want you to start just before it turns into +1. So just before +1, with half of the red ring inside the rough, is where I do want us to start. If you do play with Apocalypse level 5, level 6, you go with the yellow ring by the rough line instead. With Apocalypse level 7 and 8, we go with 3 rings of overpower. If we do have an Apocalypse level 5, level 6, we go with maximum overpower. This because we do not have that much top spin. We're looking for a yardage around 380 yards plus. Sure, you will sometimes get a little bit shorter, which is, you know, okay. But, you know, as an ultimate position, we do want to have 380 yards or more for our driver. Now second shot is going to be more or less dead on straight headwind, and this is an absolute must drop when it comes to master, and we just need to get it in. I'm not using any spin whatsoever. Ball guideline slightly through the hole, very important because we do have headwind, so if you not get that one through the hole, we're gonna see ourselves going short. I do want us to favor 11.59 here with approach. It's not going to be a heavy 11.59, but we're going to favor it. And with from 386, we're going to play complete medium distance of our club with a 10% over adjustment. And in the end though, this is what we're looking for, right at pin for a nice eagle here on hole number 7. For hole number 8, we're going to play with the sniper and a 3-point ball, meaning a win 5, power 3 ball in absolute maximum distance. Now we're looking for the ball guideline to point directly at hole with the blue ring just barely inside the rough there to the right. Once we have found that spot, we are going to play with half a bar of backspin. And now it's very important to take a look at the wind angle. If we do have a wind coming a little bit left to right, like a little northeast, we are going to try to favor 1159 in pull angle. If we do have a wind coming a little bit right to left, we should favor a straight pull angle, like a 12 in pull angle. Very tough though, as you will have to judge that yourself once it's your turn. Maximum distance with a 30% over adjustment, and we see this ball coming in very nicely for an hole-in-one on hole number 8. This has started to become one of my favorite holes, to be honest, in this tournament, as it is a very weird one, but this very simple adjustment works really well. So maximum distance plus 30, power 3 ball settings, and get in the hole. For hole number 9, we are going to play over to the left hand side. I'm using 2.2 topspin and 3 bars of left spin. I would, however, recommend you to play with only 2 bars of topspin instead. This because there is a very big chance of getting a glitch with our roll here. We are adjusting with a maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and you can see that we're using approximately 2 balls of curl to the left. The reason I'm not using more is because that freaking tree there on the right is definitely in play. You can see here it comes down and it then rolls up here on the fairway. So in the end, I would really recommend to go with 2 bars of topspin instead of 2.2, because those of you that has been watching the latest stream notice that with 2.2 I went super duper close to the rough with a massive glitch on that fairway. In the end though, you can play with a power 4 ball in the same type of way, and the only difference would be the second shot, where you're gonna have more distance when it comes to going towards the pin. A cyber ball would be absolutely ultimate, but that ball is not that featured in our bags. So now I'm going to try to set up with, as you can see, the top spin being approximately 1 green square before the pin. And I'm also having the top of the yellow ring by the cutoff between the dark and the brighter rough there in the bottom part of the rough. Once adjusting maximum distance plus 5, I do pull back 1.2 rings to compensate for the height difference that we're gonna have. Then obviously we do want to try to hit perfect. With a great ball, that's not going to be the best type of way. We do clip the rough where we kind of want to, but we also noticed that with a great left, we still miss right, which means that from maximum distance completely, we might need to reduce and play without elevation completely. So in the end though, instead of the 5%er, we're gonna use that one, and we're going to instead go with 0. Which is going to be that button. So we get 0% instead. After playing 5% in the video, we change out to 0% in the end for the second shot, and then let's get in the hole. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Master Division with the Tournament Wind. Make sure that you do send us an email to support@golfclashtommy.com if you do have any sort of questions. I know there isn't that much master content out there, so in the end, if you do have questions, just ask. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Don't forget, get a thumbs up before you go, and get the summer special on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Much love to you all, and a massive good luck in the Redwood Cup Tournament.